Dead Famous is a series telling amazing stories, celebrating the lives of the famous, the not so famous, and the downright infamous. With their final resting places in Metropolitan Memorial Parks, these people represent what it is to be an Australian.
James Squire was so bad at being a criminal, he was among the first to be transported from England to Australia on a convict ship. It turned out to be the best decision he ever made.
James Squire may well have been a criminal who came from a family of criminals. He committed highway robbery when he was about 18. He stole about 9 chickens from a neighbour in Heathen Street. He was found guilty, and he was one of the last people to be put on the first fleet, probably among the last 2 convicts to be added. As one of Australia's newest arrivals, James Squire had a choice: continue crime or find something else to do with his life. We see some sort of change in his criminal ways. He seems to have gone on not quite the straight and narrow. We're not entirely sure how James Squire started brewing. The main evidence we have is an 1819 inquiry into the state of the colony where James Squire himself gives evidence. At that time, he suggested he was brewing for around 30 years, which would have put it at about 1789, which means he was brewing almost from the start. You would think brewing beer in the colony for James Squire would have made him quite popular because you're a long way from England. It's probably the only way you're going to get any sort of beer. While he might have been busy cultivating hops and brewing beer, Squire still had time to get into trouble. Again. His punishment is now the brand name for one of Squire's signature beers. The beer brand name 150 lashes. He was caught stealing the ingredients to brew beer and got 300 lashes, but it wasn't unusual to split punishments like that in halves. There wasn't any record that it was actually commuted. James Squire's beer making was commercially prosperous. He was able to, once he became a free man and acquired all that land out at Kissing Point, he was able to set up his own brewery out on the Parramatta River, and it was probably quite a good money spinner, judging by how much money he was able to leave for people in his will. Despite his criminal ways, James Squire was enlightened for the times when it came to dealing with First Nations people. He had a close friendship with Bennelong, who was eventually buried on Squire land. His newly acquired wealth and status enabled Squire to be appointed a police officer, and he was the first to use First Nations people in an investigatory role. James Squire has gone down in history as the first police officer to use First Nations trackers to capture a criminal. James Squire has probably gone down as the father of Australian brewing. Getting done for stealing chickens would have been the best thing that happened in his life because he wouldn't have had the chance to acquire all this land and all this status if he had stayed in England, but he got almost like a fresh start in the colony and he really made the most of it.